Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland of the Majority Report with Sam Seder look at an article positing that Trump's coup has already failed. And they have some discussion on the matter, which I think is interesting, and that's why I'm sharing this video with you now. I'm going to have my opinions I'll offer as we go, but then I want to know what you think in the comments. Let's jump into it.
Just want to read a little bit of this piece by David Dayen in the Prospect yesterday. The coup has failed, so that people have a little bit of hope. I mean, look, this is not, there is no reason to stand down now. And this is, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be hurt by what's going on with the Trump administration going forward over the next 4 years. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people are going to lose their health care. A lot of people are going to lose their support, food stamps. I mean, we're just across the board. We're going to increase suffering in this country. But in terms of like our ability to build back, as it were, following a Trump administration, Dayen proclaims that he believes that the coup, as it were, has failed. The idea of consolidating power and punishment of enemies, he believes, has on some level fundamentally failed. He believes that there was an overreach. He's talking about every headline out of Washington being about Elon Musk. There's a sense among Americans that Trump is not keeping his eye on the ball. They are exhausted by Elon Musk.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Tried it again.
He writes, as the economy drifts towards a combination of higher unemployment and higher inflation, last seen in the presidency of the late Jimmy Carter, Trump will find it harder to simply sweep in and take power. Town hall held by Rich McCormick, Republican in Georgia last week, in a district that went for Trump 60-38, was a disaster, with angry constituents demanding he stand up for them and not let Trump control the federal budget and cut services for the needy. Other deep red districts have seen similar dynamics. In rural eastern Oregon, a town hall held by Representative Cliff Benz, Republican in Oregon, in a county that went 68% for Trump, the crowd shouted, "Tax Elon, tax the wealthy, tax the rich, and tax billionaires." In Oklahoma, constituents demanded that Representative Kevin Hern, who won in November 60-34, put Musk under oath. In Wisconsin, Representative Glenn Grantham won by a similar number. At a town hall near Oshkosh, he faced a parade of boos and shouts, as did fellow Wisconsinite Representative Scott Fitzgerald, Republican. I can tell you right now that no national group is saying we need to dedicate our resources in Oklahoma or in a county that went 68% for Trump. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's going to their donors and say, if we just had funding.
Right.
I mean, people are pissed. And now, there's a small percentage of people who are paying attention. Maybe these are Democrats and indivisible people going out to these town halls. I have no doubt that's the majority of them. These are not Trump voters who are doing that. But even if he won by a 68% to 38% or 60 to 38% margin, you don't want the news reminding people who are not paying attention to this that, hey, wait a second. Not only are the egg prices high, which they know when they go to the store, but what's going on?
I also, these are real people in these communities. These are real people who are going to be affected and see their economy destabilize. And even if they're the biggest MAGA person ever, they may go to soccer with another family, and like their kid is playing on the soccer team with a with parents, one of them who just lost their job, laid off in the federal workforce. So the idea that this can happen and not affect communities across the country, maybe we'll get into this in the fun half, there are almost 1 million federal workers in states that voted for Donald Trump. Over 1 million, or almost 1 million. And I think a lot of these folks are going to run for office. We'll see if they have good politics. I mean, that's kind of more what I care about. But I do think that there's going to be a grassroots movement to have some of these fired federal workers challenge these Republicans.
Look, I agree with what they're saying. I think my concern, though, I mean, when you rush to the coup has already failed. They've got Kash Patel in. They put in a deputy FBI director in there that's just a right-wing podcast. He used to be Secret Service. Neither of these people have any FBI experience. It's crystal clear that the loyalty is the metric for their appointment and that they're both on board with weaponizing the justice system to right. I mean, it's still happening. So you can say Trump's hand is bruised and Trump can't keep his eye on the ball, but the wheels are still turning and Republicans are still lining up to pass this stuff. The big, beautiful bill that's going to cut Medicaid, look, that's on track to happening. It might happen with a 1 or 2 vote, margin. It might be a tiebreaker by J.D. Vance, but it's on track to happening. They are succeeding in this. So when we talk about grassroots stuff that's going to happen down the road and voices being raised, and I think that's good that we are starting to not just feel the pain, but hear it from people's mouths. But what that actually translates to is less clear to me.
Yep.
I mean, here's another little clip from this video, which is actually an advertisement, but I've cut most of the ad part out because I think it makes a great point about what is still the strategy. Steve Bannon talking about flooding the zone, and that is all still going on, right? That's all still happening. Whether or not the coup has failed.
All we have to do is flood the zone. Every day we hit them with 3 things. They'll bite on one and we'll get all of our stuff done. Bang, bang, bang. These guys will never be able to recover.
That's Steve Bannon spelling out the strategy. Overwhelm Americans with news so Trump can quietly push his real agenda. This is the shock doctrine in action, and it's happening right now. Trump is flooding the news cycle with executive orders so the media jumps from headline to headline while his real power grabs go unnoticed, and it's working. Trump is using chaos to hide corruption in plain sight again.
Anyway, little ray of sunshine thinking that the brakes have been pumped at least enough to stall their momentum, but I'm very skeptical. Let me know what you think in the comments.